Welcome back to the True Crime Lounge podcast. I do have a Patreon that you can join for early access. The episode's scheduled to come out. I also have a merch shop for all your true crime gear. For any updates on my channel or podcast, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. With that being said, let's dive into today's episode, shall we? Today we're going to be talking about the case of Michelle Avila. Now, you might recall a Lifetime movie called A Killer Among Friends. It is the movie Um, in the movie, Jenny Monroe is played by Tiffany Thiessen, a beautiful and popular teenager girl who lives with her brother and her loving mom. Um, and Jenny's relationship with her childhood best friend Ellen becomes strained due to Ellen's insecurities and increasing jealousy of Jenny's beauty and a popularity with boys in which her idyllic home life tensions grow worse. As Ellen's pressures Jenny into shoplifting and erroneously accusing her of sleeping with her boyfriend. So, one day, Jenny leaves ready to hang out with her friends Carla Lewis, and when Jenny does not return home, Jenny becomes worried and alerts the police. Jenny is found dead in a creek, having been drowned with a 100-pound log over her body, and she is suddenly in grief. Now, Ellen's behavior becomes erratic, and obsession with the case intensifies and everything, and Ellen eventually moves in with the family. Now, the movie is based off the case we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about the murder of Michelle Avila, which happens to be what happens when there is jealousy and friendship? Does it have to lead to murder? Well, the case is about a book called Karen's Kingsbury Missy's Murder, which covers the case. Um, and Lifetime used a movie that I just discussed as the plot, and this case actually appeared on Deadly Women, Unusual Suspects, The Dr. Phil Show, and The Circle of Distrust. Now, before we go over who Missy Avila was, let's talk about her killers and her supposed friends, Karen Severson and Laura Doyle. In 1985, Karen and Laura drowned in 17-year-old Missy, uh, holding her head down in a shallow stream in the Big Tujunga Canyon in Angeles National Park over allegedly sleeping with Doyle's boyfriend. They attended the funeral, confronted her family, even suggesting suspects, and they would keep it for 3 years. Convicted at 22, both were sentenced to 15 years to life in adult prison. Yet, after the murder, Severson, who'd known Avila since age 7, claimed it was an accident. Now, she will go on to say in 2015 that I only wanted to torment Missy. After serving 21 and 22 years, respectively, for second-degree murder, Severson and Doyle were given parole. Doyle has stayed under the radar while Severson controversially wrote a memoir about the crime, which promoted an ebook, and who sees herself as a reformed bully, seeing victim blaming of Avila, all the stuff, everything we were accusing her of, she knew what she did. But not one time did she say she was sorry. Now let's talk about Michelle. She was born Michelle Yvette Avila, but went by Missy. She had grew up in Arietta, Los Angeles, in the San Fernando Valley. She was best friends with Karen Severson, and ever since they were 8, and the two girls grew began to grow apart when they entered San Fernando High School. Karen would reportedly grow jealous of Missy and become friends with the popular and attractive, and she would also grow upset because Missy would begin to spend less time with her and more time with boys, and she even started a rumor that she had been having sex with various guys. This resulted in her being beat up by a group of girls who accused her of sleeping with their boyfriends. During their junior year of high school, she began dating a boy named Randy. She broke up the relationship a month later due to his constant partying. Shortly after, Karen and Randy began a relationship and eventually moved into his apartment together. And I think Karen was more in love with Missy and wanted her alive, and who starts a rumor about their best friend. Who gets jealous of this? Karen would later tell Missy's mom, Irene, that she had witnessed Randy pulling her onto his lap at the time, and she would tell Randy that she was not interested in rekindling their relation and advised Karen to break up with Randy. The incident angered her and they stopped speaking to her. Ten so before her death, the two got into a physical altercation in the neighborhood park. And according to the witnesses, Karen threatened Missy with a broken beer bottle and then pushed her and slapped her. On October 1st, 1985, Missy told her mom that she was going out with a group of friends, and one of her school friends, Laura Doyle. She would pick up Missy and they two left. 4 hours later, Laura called Missy's mom and asked to speak to Missy. Irene would tell Laura that she thought that she was with her. Laura then tells her that she dropped Missy off with three boys in a blue Camaro. After getting gas, Laura then returned to the location where she dropped Missy off, but the boys were gone, and the boys and her were gone. On October 4th, Missy's body was found present in the stream in Big Tujunga Canyon in Los Angeles National Forest. She had been forcibly drowned in 6 inches of water through her waist and linked hair. Irene said that there was no reason to suspect Karen and Laura were involved in her daughter's death. Both had attended her funeral, and Laura even sent her a sympathy card with $20. She even moved in with Irene in time to console her for becoming a surrogate daughter to her, which is disputed by Karen. Karen was seemingly obsessed with the murder, and that she would visit Missy's grave several times a week. Covered the walls of her room and, well, pictures of Missy and newspaper clippings about the crime, and repeatedly visited the creek where Missy's body was found. At one point, she told Irene that she had seen a Missy's ghost. Now, police had no leads in the case when it cold. On July 26, 1988, Eva Shirambolo was another girl who had taken a 45-minute drive into the mountains. They came forward and the police told the police about the murder. Karen and Laura would lure Missy to the creek and proceed to yell at her promiscuously. Both girls accused her of having sex with their boyfriends and told her that she had messed up too many relationships. The two then held Avila down in approximately 6 inches of water to hold her body into a 4 foot, 100-pound log on her body. In March of 1990, Karen and Laura were convicted of second-degree murder, sentenced to 15 years in prison, and the jurors would later say they were not convinced that the murder was planned and rejected the first degree. Karen was released from prison December 9, 2011, after serving 21 and a half years. Laura was released from prison December 2012 after serving 22. Now, after Karen out of prison, she began promoting a memoir of the crime, and she made a deal with for the film to be produced. However, Missy's family would sue her in 2015, seeking to take all profits. Because of this, the state of California passed Missy's Law, requiring entities to be helping publish works by criminals to contact the family of the victims about the said work.